Did you know that to be is one of the most important verbs in English? We use it all the time to describe who we are. I was a student, we were best friends. How we feel, she was happy, they were excited. Where we are, I was at home, they were at school. There was a big cake on the table. To tell a story about the past, you need to know how to use was and were correctly. But here's the tricky part. To be is irregular. Its past forms don't follow the usual ed rule like regular verbs. Instead, the forms change depending on the subject. Was, I, he, she, it, were, you, we, they. Don't worry. Once you get the hang of it, using was and were will feel as natural as telling a story. Ready to master it? Let's dive in. Now that you know was and were are the past forms of to be, let's learn when to use them. Describing people and things. We use was and were to describe how things or people were in the past. The weather was cold last night. The party was so much fun. He was the best player on the team. They were very creative in their project. Think about your past experiences. How would you describe them? Try making your own sentences. Practice makes perfect. Remember, was is used with singular subjects and were is used with plural subjects. Keep practicing. Talking about locations, we use was and were to talk about where people or things were in the past. I was at the park this morning. They were in class yesterday. She was at home all day. We were at the amusement park last weekend. Try to remember where you were yesterday. Can you make a sentence using was or were? Talking about age in the past. We also use was and were to talk about someone's age in the past. When I was 5, I loved ice cream. My grandpa was a musician. Our dog was just a puppy last year. They were very small babies. How old were you 5 years ago? Write a sentence using was or were. Common mistakes and how to fix them. Sometimes English learners make mistakes with was and were. Let's look at the most common ones and how to fix them. Incorrect. You was late for class. Correct. You were late for class. Incorrect. They was at the store yesterday. Correct. They were at the store yesterday. Incorrect. She were tired after the trip. Correct. She was tired after the trip. Remember, use was with I, he, she, it. Use were with you, we, they. Practice makes perfect. How well do you know was and were? Let's find out. Hey there, English Explorer. Are you ready to put your past tense skills to the test? You've learned when to use was and were, but can you apply them correctly? Let's see if you can ace this quiz. Quick quiz. Test your skills. Think you've mastered was and were? Choose the correct word for each sentence. Imagine this. You're telling a friend about something that happened in the past. Which word fits best? Ready? Let's begin. So bright, excited about her birthday at the concert on Saturday, raining all day yesterday on vacation last summer. Fun challenge story time. Now that you know how to use was and were, let's put it into practice. Try writing a short story, 3 to 5 sentences, using was and were. Here's an example. Yesterday was amazing. The sun was shining and the weather was perfect. My friends and I were at the beach all day. We were so happy playing in the waves and eating ice cream. It was the best day ever. Good luck! Congratulations! You've just learned how to use was and were like a pro. Now you can confidently describe the past, talk about places, and share stories. Remember, use was with I, he, she, it. Use were with you, we, they. Keep practicing and soon it will feel easy and natural.